Welcome to our channel History of Coins, where we explore the hidden gems of numismatics. In today's video, we're diving into the fascinating world of U.S. state quarter dollar coins, as some of these coins are rare and can make you rich overnight. In this video, we are gonna uncover the rarest coins and their values. So make sure to watch the complete video and find out if you have one of these. Now let's continue our today's video. Top 1 today, we're diving deep into a piece of American history that you just might have in your pocket, a drawer, or tucked away in an old jar at home. It's a small piece of metal, but it carries a big story and possibly an even bigger value. We're talking about the United States Connecticut State Quarter from the year 1999. You heard that right, 1999. The very first year the state quarters were released. Now, most of us remember these quarters. They came out one by one, celebrating each of the 50 states with a unique design. But what makes the Connecticut Quarter so special? And why are collectors and coin experts buzzing about this coin more than 2 decades later? Stick around, because this isn't just about a 25-cent coin. It could be a ticket to something much bigger. Let's begin with the story behind it. Connecticut was the 5th state to be honored in the U.S. Mint's 50 State Quarters program. And what better symbol for Connecticut than the legendary charter oak? That's what you'll see on the reverse side of this coin. An intricate engraving of a majestic tree with sprawling branches. But it's not just any tree. The charter oak is a symbol of American independence and resistance. Back in 1687, Connecticut colonists are said to have hidden their royal charter inside this very tree to keep it out of British hands. This coin doesn't just show a tree, it tells a story of courage, defiance, and freedom. Flip it over, and on the obverse, you'll find the familiar image of George Washington. But not all Connecticut quarters were made equal. In fact, there are some rare and surprising secrets hiding within these coins, secrets that have turned a common quarter into a coin worth serious money. Now, let's talk rarity. Millions of these coins were struck in 1999, yes, but only a tiny fraction have the characteristics that collectors go crazy for. These are coins with minting errors, variations, and specific die conditions that make them incredibly valuable. And here's the exciting part. Many of these rare Connecticut quarters slipped into circulation without anyone noticing at the time. So what kind of errors should you be looking for? One of the most sought-after variations is the double die error. This occurs when the coin is struck twice by the die, slightly off alignment, creating a shadow-like effect on the letters or the design. On the Connecticut quarter, doubling on the tree branches or the word Connecticut can mean you're holding something truly special. Then there's the off-center strike. Imagine a coin where the image is misaligned. Part of the design may be cut off, and a blank crescent might show along the edge. These errors were not intentional, and that's what makes them rare. Some of the off-center Connecticut quarters show as much as 10 to 15% misalignment, and collectors will pay a premium for those. Another rarity is the clipped planchet error. That means the coin blank, called a planchet, was improperly cut, resulting in a coin with a curved or crescent-shaped missing section. This kind of factory mistake, when combined with the Connecticut state design, creates a unique and highly desirable collector's item. Even coins with extremely sharp, uncirculated detail and a brilliant mirror-like surface, especially those graded as MS67 or higher, can sell for impressive amounts. These are the kinds of coins that never saw a day of circulation, stored away in protective cases from day one. And if your coin has a combination of both high grade and a minting error, you've just hit the collector's jackpot. Coin lovers, this is where it gets really interesting. These rare coins have become a hot topic in the numismatic world. Auction houses, private collectors, and online markets have seen bidding wars for pristine examples of the 1999 Connecticut Quarter with verified errors. Imagine the thrill of discovering one of these treasures in your own home. It's not just about the money, it's the excitement of uncovering a forgotten artifact of American history, a rare piece of metal that survived the odds. And now, the part you've been waiting for. If you're lucky enough to own a 1999 Connecticut quarter with certain mint errors and in near-perfect condition, your little 25-cent piece could be worth as much as $81,000. Yes, you heard that correctly. $81,000. So take a second look at that coin jar. Search through those old rolls of quarters. You never know when a piece of forgotten change could turn out to be a small fortune in disguise. Top 2, we're taking you on a ride out west, straight into cowboy country, to explore one of the most unique and talked about coins in the entire State Quarters series. Buckle up, because we're diving into the story of the 2007 Wyoming State Quarter, and trust me, you're going to want to hear every detail of this one. Now, at first glance, the Wyoming Quarter might not scream rare or expensive. It's simple. It's clean. On one side, you've got George Washington, just like every other quarter. But flip it over, and there it is, the iconic bucking horse and rider. A tribute to Wyoming's deep roots in the American West, this image has come to symbolize freedom, wild spirit, and frontier toughness. It's not just a design. It's a bold stamp of identity from the cowboy state. But what most people don't know is that this seemingly common quarter can actually be worth a small fortune. Yes, this very coin, minted in 2007, has become a treasure in the eyes of collectors, and not just because of its design. There's much more to the story. Let's talk about the mintage. The Wyoming Quarter was part of the U.S. Mint's 50 state quarters program. Tens of millions were produced, like most state quarters. But even in large print runs, things can go wrong, and sometimes those mistakes are exactly what makes a coin incredibly valuable. What kinds of mistakes are we talking about? One of the most famous and intriguing aspects of the 2007 Wyoming Quarter is the presence of rare minting errors. And these are not your ordinary smudges or scratches. We're talking about dramatic die breaks, die chips, and extra metal blobs that alter the appearance of the horse and rider in subtle, but very noticeable ways. One of the most well-known errors is affectionately nicknamed the detached leg error. On some coins, the rider's leg appears to be either faint, broken, or missing altogether. These kinds of die errors happen when the stamping die begins to wear out or gets damaged. Over time, the pressure applied during the minting process creates unusual raised bumps or missing details, and that's where things get interesting for collectors. Another version shows the horse's tail or mane with odd distortions, where extra metal appears like blobs or extensions. To the average person, it might just look like a flaw, but to a seasoned collector, that's a unique variation that makes the coin stand out from the rest. And let's not forget about off-center strikes, where the image is slightly shifted, and parts of the design may even be cut off. These are much rarer and harder to find, but when a Wyoming Quarter turns up with an off-center error and it's still in excellent condition, it becomes the holy grail for state quarter collectors. Now, if you have one of these quarters with visible errors, especially if it has never been circulated and is in mint condition, you could be looking at a very desirable piece. Coins that have been preserved in uncirculated or proof condition, often stored in protective cases since the day they were minted, can carry massive value at auctions and private sales. But it's not just about the error or the grade. It's about both together. A Wyoming state quarter with an extreme minting error and a top-tier grading like MS67 or MS68. That's a rare combination. And when supply is low and demand is high, prices go through the roof. You might be thinking, how can a regular quarter that once bought a gumball be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars? Well, that's where the magic of numismatics comes in. It's not just about currency, it's about rarity, condition, history, and the thrill of the hunt. Collectors aren't just buying coins. They're buying stories, anomalies, and moments in minting history that can never be replicated. And now, it's time for the moment you've been waiting for. If you're lucky enough to own a 2007 Wyoming state quarter with a rare minting error and in pristine, uncirculated condition, that little piece of change could be worth as much as $78,000. Yes, you heard that right, $78,000 for a single quarter. So don't toss your change in a jar without checking it. Take a close look. Examine every detail of that bucking bronco, because hidden in plain sight might be one of the rarest modern coins ever made. Top 3, we're taking you on a journey across the Pacific Ocean to a tiny island with a big story and an even bigger treasure. That's right, we're talking about one of the most overlooked yet surprisingly valuable coins in modern American history, the 2009 Guam State Quarter. Now you might be thinking, Guam? That's not one of the 50 states. And you'd be absolutely right. Guam is a U.S. territory, not a state, but in 2009, it was honored with its very own quarter as part of the U.S. Mint's District of Columbia and U.S. Territories Quarters program. And just like the state quarters that came before it, the Guam Quarter was created to celebrate the rich culture, history, and identity of this unique American island. So, what makes this quarter so special? And why are collectors whispering about certain rare versions of it that could make you a whole lot richer? Let's start with the design. The Guam Quarter features a beautifully detailed map of the island, along with a sailing canoe and a latte stone, an ancient stone pillar used by the Chamorro people as the foundation of their buildings. Together, these elements represent Guam's deep connection to its indigenous heritage, its seafaring traditions, and its place within the American family. It's a quarter that tells a story in symbols, each one etched with meaning. But beyond the artwork and cultural significance, this coin hides secrets that could make it incredibly valuable. You see, most Guam quarters were minted for general circulation, which means they were tossed into vending machines, used for parking meters, or forgotten in change jars. But not all quarters are created equal. Some came off the presses with rare mistakes, errors that turned ordinary coins into extraordinary collector's items. Let's talk about those errors. Point one of the most coveted is the double die error. On some Guam quarters, you can find doubling on the letters or numbers, especially around the word Guam or the year 2009. If you look closely and see what appears to be a shadow or ghosting effect on the lettering, don't dismiss it. It could be one of these rare double die specimens. These errors happen when the coin is struck more than once by a misaligned die, and they're highly prized in the world of numismatics. Then there are the off-center strikes. Imagine finding a Guam quarter where the image is noticeably shifted. Maybe the canoe or part of the island's shape is cut off, and a blank crescent shows on one side. These misaligned strikes are rare, and when combined with a flawless, uncirculated surface, they're like gold to serious collectors. Another potential treasure is the clipped planchet error. That's when a piece of the coin blank is accidentally cut short, leaving a curved or jagged edge on the final coin. It's a dramatic-looking flaw, and the kind that makes collectors go wild, especially if the rest of the design remains visible and intact. Now, let's not forget about condition. Even a perfect-looking Guam quarter won't reach its true value unless it's an exceptional grade. We're talking MS-67, MS-68, or higher. These are coins that never entered circulation. No scratches, no wear, no fingerprints. Just pure, untouched brilliance, often preserved in airtight holders from the moment they were minted. So what happens when you combine a minting error with a perfect grade? That's when the value skyrockets. And here's the exciting part. There are only a few known examples of error Guam quarters in high-grade condition. These rare combinations have turned heads at auctions, shocked casual collectors, and lit up the eyes of those lucky enough to find one. This is why the Guam Quarter has become one of the quiet legends of the 2009 Territory series. It didn't get the attention of the Hawaii or Puerto Rico quarters, but that just makes it more of a hidden gem. A sleeper hit in the coin world. The kind of treasure that might be hiding right now in a dusty box, an old coin jar, or even tucked away in your change from years ago. So here's your chance. Check those coins. Inspect every detail. Look for errors. Look for perfection. Because one small oversight could mean missing out on something truly incredible. And now, for the moment every collector waits for. If you happen to own a 2009 Guam Quarter with a rare minting error and an uncirculated, high-grade condition, your little island coin could be worth as much as $75,000. Yes, you heard that right. $75,000. So don't underestimate that little quarter with the canoe and the latte stone. It's more than spare change. It's a symbol of heritage, of craftsmanship, and in some rare cases, of real treasure. Top 4, we're diving deep into one of the most recent coins that has caught the attention of collectors across the country, the 2020 Salt River Bay Quarter. Now, this might seem like just another quarter to most people. It's new. It's shiny. It's still floating around in pockets, cash drawers, and laundry machines. But what if I told you that this coin, minted in 2020, could actually be worth a small fortune? That is simple. Everyday quarter could be hiding in plain sight with a value far beyond its face. Let's begin with the origin of this coin. The Salt River Bay National Historical Park and Ecological Preserve, located in the U.S. Virgin Islands, is a place of incredible natural and historical significance. It's home to one of the last remaining mangrove forests in the region and one of the earliest known settlements of indigenous peoples in the Caribbean. In 2020, the U.S. Mint honored this location with a beautifully designed quarter as part of the America the Beautiful Quarters program. And let me tell you, this is not your average quarter design. On the reverse side, you'll find a breathtaking image of a red mangrove tree, its roots arching into the earth, symbolizing growth, life, and resilience. It's more than just a tree, it's a powerful visual representation of nature's endurance and the ecological importance of protecting fragile environments. And on the obverse side, of course, is the familiar face of George Washington. But what really makes this quarter the subject of excitement and speculation among collectors isn't just its artwork. It's the hidden surprises that some of these coins carry. That's right. We're talking about errors, rare and valuable errors. You see, not all Salt River Bay quarters were minted flawlessly. Some were struck with major minting errors, and these are the coins that collectors go absolutely crazy for. Let's talk about the most talked about error, the struck through grease error. On some of these coins, part of the mangrove design looks faint or even missing. This is caused by excess grease or debris on the die during the minting process, which results in a portion of the design not being fully struck. It creates a ghost-like image on the coin, a subtle imperfection that instantly turns it from ordinary to extraordinary. There are also reports of double die errors, where you might see slight doubling in the text, especially around United States of America or the phrase Salt River Bay. If you look closely and see what appears to be a shadow or duplicate lines, pay attention. That's not a trick of the light. That could be a rare variation worth far more than face value. But wait, there's more. Another known error on this coin is the off-center strike, where the entire design is misaligned. That means the mangrove might appear shifted to one side, or part of the rim might be thicker than usual. These misstrikes are easy to spot and very valuable when found in mint condition. And of course, there's the ever-popular clipped planchet, where a small piece of the coin is missing due to a mistake in the blank cutting process before the coin is struck. When these coins are found in perfect, uncirculated condition, they become true collector's items. Now here's where it gets really exciting. Combine one of these rare minting errors with a high grade, say MS67 or above, and you're looking at a whole different level of value. Most quarters in your pocket are scratched, worn, or marked by circulation. But a coin that was carefully stored from day one, untouched by hands or pocket lint, in absolutely pristine condition, that's a collector's dream. And because the Salt River Bay Quarter is relatively new, there are still error coins out there waiting to be discovered. They haven't all been found, which means you could find one. Yes, so don't brush off that 2020 quarter in your change. Look at it carefully. Study the details. Examine it under a magnifying glass. You never know. What looks like a simple coin could actually be a small fortune just waiting to be noticed. Now, the moment everyone's been waiting for. If you were lucky enough to own a 2020 Salt River Bay Quarter with a rare minting error, and stunning, uncirculated condition, and verified by a reputable grading service, then that very coin could be worth as much as $73,000. Yes, you heard that right. $73,000. So keep hunting, keep learning, and keep believing that real treasure doesn't always come in gold bars or hidden chests. Sometimes it jingles quietly in your pocket until you look just a little bit closer. Top 5, we're diving into one of the most beautiful and potentially valuable state quarters ever released by the United States Mint. We're talking about none other than the 2005 West Virginia State Quarter. Now, to the average person, this might just be another coin to toss into a piggy bank or use at the grocery store. But for the trained eye and the lucky collector, this coin holds the potential to be worth far more than just 25 cents to us. Oh, what makes this quarter so special? Let's start with the story it tells that in 2005, as part of the legendary 50 State Quarters program, the U.S. Mint honored the Mountain State, West Virginia. The design chosen for this quarter is both breathtaking and symbolic. It features the iconic New River Gorge Bridge, one of the longest steel arch bridges in the world, spanning one of the oldest rivers on Earth. This isn't just a feat of engineering. It's a symbol of connection, strength, and progress, perfectly representing West Virginia's rugged beauty and pioneering spirit. But as always in the world of coin collecting, the magic lies in the details, and sometimes in the mistakes. While millions of these quarters were minted for circulation, not all of them were created equally. Some coins from the 2005 West Virginia batch carry rare minting errors that make them highly valuable to collectors today. Now let's take a closer look at what you should be watching for. One of the most talked about errors is the double die reverse. In these rare coins, you may notice a slight doubling effect on the words West Virginia, New River Gorge, or even on the fine details of the bridge itself. It's subtle, but unmistakable to a trained eye. This type of error occurs when the coin die accidentally strikes the blank more than once in a slightly misaligned position, creating a layered, almost ghost-like text effect that collectors absolutely crave. Then there's the off-center strike, a dramatic and easily recognizable error where the entire design is shifted away from the center of the coin. On these coins, you might see a portion of the design cut off on one side, with a wide blank crescent on the other. These are rare, and even more valuable when combined with a crisp, uncirculated surface. Another rare gem is the clipped planchet error. This happens when a coin is struck on an incomplete metal blank, leaving a curved section missing from the edge. It's like finding a bite taken out of the quarter, but instead of damage, it's an original mistake from the mint itself. These coins are unique and sought after by specialists who love collecting one-of-a-kind mint mishaps. And don't forget about the struck-through errors, where foreign material, like grease or debris, gets between the die and the blank. This can cause parts of the design to appear faded, incomplete, or totally missing. It might look like a flaw to the untrained eye, but to a collector, it's pure treasure. Now here's something every collector should know. Condition matters. A coin with an error is exciting, but a coin with an error in mint state condition? That's a jackpot. The highest grades, such as MS67 or above, are reserved for coins that have been perfectly preserved. No scratches, no wear, no handling marks. These are often found in coin rolls or original mint packaging, untouched by circulation. And while West Virginia quarters are still relatively easy to find in pocket change, these rare, high-grade error coins are not. Only a tiny fraction of the 2005 quarters escaped the mint with these valuable flaws. Fewer still survived in pristine condition. That's what makes them so exciting. They're hiding in plain sight. So if you're a coin collector, or just someone who loves the idea that everyday objects could hold extraordinary value, now is the time to go digging. Check your change jars. Look through old coin rolls. Take a second glance at that 2005 quarter with the bridge. What you might have tossed aside could actually be a hidden treasure waiting to be discovered. And now, for the part you've all been waiting for, if you are lucky enough to own a 2005 West Virginia State quarter with a rare minting error, such as a double die, off-center strike, clipped planchet, or struck through grease, and that coin is in flawless, uncirculated condition, that single quarter could be worth as much as $71,000. Yes, you heard it right. $71,000 for one small coin that many people overlook every single day. So keep your eyes open. Because sometimes, the most valuable things are the ones we see every day, but never truly notice. That if you enjoyed this deep dive into one of America's hidden coin treasures, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more rare coin stories, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a chance to discover history, and maybe a fortune, right in your hands. Thanks for watching, and until next time, happy hunting and happy collecting.